Let's look at this fancy old and pretty big Marlboro sign that I just brought home. It's supposed to be a Zippo lighter, and it's not completely working. We have a broken tube, which is that red ribbon here, but I got it for a fair price, and I already jumpered that broken part out to get the rest of it to light up. It looks very much European made. We got these tube supports, we got the electrodes going through the back plate. Lots of nice Italian colored glass. Here's the old Technolux logo. And European neon shops almost never used a blockout paint in a dip tank. So if they even blocked out anything, then they blocked out the electrodes with a heat shrink tube or black electrical tape. But they did not block out usually the crossovers between the letters, also just a bit of electrical tape here. But instead they went all crazy and trying to hide the crossovers behind the letters, like in this A, and more spots in this text. I don't really like this type of bending because it makes it badly legible from the side. And I have before dipped a Marlboro tube like this to make it a bit nicer, but I think in this case I'm gonna keep it original. And another thing that Europe did not have is magnetic transformers with a mount for these kind of steel stick frames. We didn't really have beer signs like that until the early 90s, and then we already had the first pioneers in electronic transformers like Hansen and Technolux. So what they did for this one is they used two Italian wall mount transformers and put them in this box. And there's another electrical box on top that I'm not sure what it's doing, and the wires are cut off. So I want to find out today. By the way, it's missing the label, but I found another sales ad that said it was from 1994. And we might be able to verify that because Italian wall mount transformers often have a date code on the label. The two transformers make this thing extremely heavy. Still the frame is not flexing because they put this cool steel bridge like stabilizers in here, so the frame is very stiff, and that's pretty nice. But I might still replace those transformers with electronic ones so that I can dim it, and so it's just easier to handle and safer to take care of than with this super heavy double transformer pack. I know that at least one tube has been remade because it has no painted electrodes and those clear electrode boots. And somebody also electrically tinkered with this thing. This is not the best way to extend these wires. We have two cutoff wires at this mystery box that I'm going to open. And just a side fact, until the early 90s I think there was a German electrical rule that neon high voltage wire must be yellow. So to comply with this rule on older signs, all the high voltage wires are still yellow. And I would say this is a dimmer. Although it looks like, if this is the adjustment potentiometer, because that's just a fuse holder, they didn't make it the brightness user adjustable, just the fuse holder outside. Not sure why. Maybe they wanted to, well, that's strange. Why wouldn't they want to change brightness by the user? Well, maybe it's not original. Maybe somebody put it on there and it was not part of the original sign. I don't know. But they cut it off anyway. Do we have a year on this? It says Leerlauf, which means free run or no load run, 994. So that's interesting. It looks to be an external protection device to detect if one of those transformers is running with an open secondary, so with a broken tube. Either it was defective or the person who repaired the neon doesn't understand how it worked, so they just cut it off. But that's interesting. I've never seen a custom open secondary shut down like this before. So this acts like a minimum input current detection switch. It will be adjusted to the normal current that flows into the inputs of these two transformers. And when we have a broken tube, then one of the transformers will go to a open secondary operation and require much less input side current. And the circuit board will detect that and will then turn off the whole sign. Now let's vacuum the dust out of here and maybe we can see a date on the transformers. Now I'm going to unmount that broken tube and make a drawing of it so I can bend a new one in the next days. Now I thought about doing a test runs with different electronic transformers to find out how much voltage I need and if I need one or two. But I think I'm going to wait until I remade that tube so I can measure it with a final setup. So I'm finishing for today. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on this one. Come back soon. Bye.